We're going to continue graphing hyperbolas. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to write it in vertex form. So we're looking at our x values, and we're going to factor out a 9. And we get x squared minus 4x. We're going to complete the square. So we're going to take the negative 4, divide it by 2, and square it, and that gives us a 4. Then we're going to factor out a negative 1, and we get y squared minus 8y. I'm going to complete the square, so I'm going to divide it by 2 and square it to get 16. I'm going to move the 16 over, so I get it equal to 16. Remember, we have the 9 times the 4, which is 36. And what we have is the negative and the 16, which is negative 16. See that the 16s cancel, so we get 36 on the right-hand side. We're going to factor each of our trinomials. So we have 9x minus 2 squared minus, we factor this trinomial, y minus 4 squared. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set it equal to 1. So I'm going to divide each side by 36. And when I do that, what I get is x minus 2 squared over 4 minus y minus 4 squared over 36. And that's equal to 1. So the center is going to be 2, 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my XY chart. So I'm just going to move it over a little bit. And because I know that the square root of 36 is 6, I'm going to go by 2's to make it a little bit easier to graph. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This is going to be 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 4, 2, 4. So the center being 2, 4 is going to be 2 and 4 right here. Now I'm going to take the square root of 4 and I get 2. So that means when I go to the left or right, I go by 2's. And the square root of 36 is 6. So I'm going to go up 3 because that's 6, 2, 4, 6, and down 3. I'm going to make my box. Remember, the box is a guide for drawing the hyperbolas. And my asymptotes go through the center and the corner. Now remember, my hyperbola either goes to the left and right or it goes up and down. How we tell is whichever is positive. So in this case, the x is positive. So that means it's going to the right and left. So I'm taking my points to the right and left, and I'm drawing two graphs that look like parabolas. Let's look at the second one. So when we're looking at this right here, what I'm going to do is get the x's and y's together. So I'm going to move the y over, and I get 4y squared plus 8y. I'm going to bring the x over, minus 25x squared. Then that's equal to 96. I'm going to factor out a 4 from the y's, and I get y squared plus 2y. I'm going to complete the square, divide it by 2 and square it, which is 1. And then with the x's, it makes it really nice that there's no other x, so I leave it alone. I have 96 4 times 1 is 4. And then I'm going to factor. That becomes y plus 1 squared minus 25x squared equals 100. Now, once again, I'm going to divide each side by 100 because I want it equal to 1. Now, when I divide it by 100, I see that the 4 and the 100 reduce. So I have y plus 1 squared over 25. Then I have minus x squared over 4, and that's equal to 1. The center of my circle is going to be 0 and negative 1. Now, I know the square root of 25 is 5. That's pretty large, so what I'm going to do is go by 2's again. So 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. And 0, negative 1 would be right here. The square root of 25 is 5. Since it's underneath the y, I'm going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for the x's, the square root of 4 is 2. So I'm going to go over 2 and to the right 2. I'm going to make my imaginary box. Once again, the imaginary box helps guide what the hyperbola looks like. And I'm going to draw diagonals. And then since the y is positive, it's going to be going up and down. So I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to go up. And then I'm going to go down. And that right there is how we graph hyperbolas.